a sort of an eye-opening moment for me was as I've realized, like, approaching people as students and not even necessarily talking about your technology at all. If the concern is that you're going to be rebuffed because you look like a competitor, if you instead just say, I'm taking a course about innovation, I do work with microscopes, and I'd love to talk to someone about what you guys do. You don't say, I'm trying to develop a competitive technology. It changes the type of relationship you have. We've had a couple of minutes. Mike and I have we realized we've both independently done this in some of our interviews where we've been talking to people who are scientifically minded. And one of the first things they ask is, tell me a little bit about what you guys are working on. We'll actually say, we'd love to talk to you about it at the end of the interview. But I really want to get a perspective about what the ecosystem looks like from your perspective to really understand what you're seeing, what you want, what you don't like, rather than giving you my idea and asking you to give it a thumbs up or a thumbs down. We found this as a process of being much more about not asking, are we meeting our goal points, but what are the goal points that we should be trying to meet? And then we're internally discussing whether or not our technology is going to meet those goalposts. Seems like a couple times you've gotten like responses from clinicians who said this isn't marketable, right? But that's not necessarily, I don't think that's the question you want. Like, the clinician isn't running the market, right? Part of the question is there a problem? And, is my idea, do I think my idea is going to address the problem that you're experiencing, right? Rather than asking them to render just like a judgment on your pitch. We've totally drank the Kool-Aid on this. I mean, most of the interviews that we've done, it really didn't matter what our technology was. If it had anything to do with understanding and treating ADHD, we could have done the exact same interviews, right? And it was hard to swallow initially, like as scientists, but that's where we're getting the value. We don't need to talk about the science. We need to talk about what people need. I found that a lot of times, if you just ask someone, what you really want to know, like, what are the problems, what are the pains? But if you lead with that question without having sort of activated the web of emotions and thoughts and perspectives first, sometimes people don't think of anything. So I've often started by instead just asking, what does your typical day look like? What are you working with? How do patients come to you? What sort of treatments do you provide? And once they sort of activate, they're sort of activating all of these memories and attitudes and perspectives associated with that pipeline, because a lot of times they just naturally bring up like, oh, and this one thing, man, I hate this. I don't know why we do this. You'll just stumble onto it. Or even if you ask about it, once you've activated all of those thoughts, sometimes there's better access to that rather than just leading with, what are the problems?